if either of you could just give a quick take if you see any opportunity for hydrogen, or was this announcement kind of confirming that lithium ion will be the most likely choice for electric vehicles moving forward?
Hydrogen, yes, it's going to be the fuel of the future, and it always will be.
You can't have a hydrogen-based car without a battery system in it. You can't You cannot ramp up and ramp down fuel cells fast enough. So there will always be a battery pack, even with a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle.
Right. The only guy that had it nailed was Toyota, but they couldn't make that mesh. That they had a very beautiful weave mesh that was inside the cells that got them from when we were working with Ballard. The best we could do was 0.8 volts per cell, and they got it to 1.3. That's amazing, but it couldn't be manufactured. It was more like a productionized prototype. So I'm going to say that probably not in my lifetime will a fuel cell take over for battery packs or even ICE. So it's going to be a no.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think fuel cells have some very unique applications, but that is not in replacing the general automotive space.
Well, I would say watch out what you're saying there, because China, Japan, and South Korea are really pushing hydrogen and fuel cell vehicles.
Right.
And when you see that amount of government R&D work, that amount of government subsidization, yeah, it's early in the fuel cell game, but with 3 countries like that really backing it, I think the fuel cell is going to continue to develop.
I think it'll continue to develop, but I think the big theme we're seeing from yesterday and even conversations today is that acceleration. And
it is, but I'll speak as somebody who lives in the snow belt. Electric cars don't do all that well in cold weather. They can lose half their range. And okay, so the range is getting bigger and bigger, but now I've got to go out and buy more battery to compensate for up to a 40 or even 50% degradation in range just based on temperature. I think there's going to be certain duty cycles where fuel cells are going to be rather attractive compared to a pure battery electric vehicle.
I think there could be a lot. Oh, you go, Sandy.
The thing that's missed is, making hydrogen. It's not the easiest process on the planet. And I mentioned on one of John's shows, actually, I said that I was in China and some Australian guy showed us a brick, looked like a house brick to me. And he said, it's full of hydrogen. And I said, really? I mean, how did you get it there? Well, that's a secret. So they figured out, this one company had figured out how to make hydrogen much, much cheaper. And then they figured out how to take it and stick it inside of this brick, which makes it easy to transport from one place to the next. The infrastructure for hydrogen is going to probably be a little more exciting than it is to put up a charging cell. And I know that, yes, Japan has taken, that's why they're a little bit behind the curve, but they've gone in that direction. And Korea's trying to follow. China, I think for China, I think you're going to see lots and lots of work on electric vehicles, because there's where the most batteries are manufactured. Okay, so Tesla's got, this new battery here, but there's plenty of battery capacity in China for making all kinds of cars. And Chairman Xi, that's his focus. He's got a focus on battery EV vehicles, electric vehicles. So I don't know. I think that it'd be great if somebody could do it. I don't know how they're going to have an infrastructure that's going to be put in place while we're changing from gasoline to, unless you go with there's another thing called HBT, hydrogen burn technology, that you could take natural gas, or you could take in some cases some refined gasoline, and you can turn it into hydrogen, and then you can you can run but you get this bottle of sludge that you don't know what to do with. There's lots of things that would have to be solved. Whereas this, I mean, like, I'm really excited about this being ready pretty much right now. And this one is right now. So
we're seeing a lot of investment globally, especially like you said, with certain governments around hydrogen. I'm not against it by any means if something changes. But this isn't the first time. California, obviously not the same scale, but a large state with a lot of money, did a lot of investment in hydrogen in the early 2000s. Try and drive a hydrogen car around most of California, you're going to have an issue. Like, it just is. There's a lot of scaling issues that you just come into. But I think that could be its own episode. So before we go down that path too much further,